Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Krista Escamilla Show, and happy insert whatever day you're listening to this. And just we're hoping that you're having a happy day. We are so grateful for our guests, for our sponsors, for our listeners. So right off the bat, before we introduce our amazing guest and my friend, I want to also thank our sponsors, because without them, we would not be able to have a show. So huge thank you to Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, Tapestry Hotel Midland, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, ThinFR, and JoinCapClub.com. Please support those local businesses however you see fit, and also please support local businesses.
Yes.
that is the key. Speaking of great local businesses, joining us is my friend of so many years. It's so much fun. We would do this normally without a camera, but we get to do it today with a camera. How fun is that? Shonna Garcia is with us today. Yay, everyone's clapping at home.
Everybody.
Round of applause. Shonna is an amazing realtor. She is also the founder of, you ready for this? Fabulous Women of Midland, Odessa, Granbury, Monahans, Johnson County, and Parker County.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Over 8,000 women coming together to support each other.
Yes.
How great is that? But first, I want to talk a little bit about your story, because we met over a year ago. You were actually one of our first guests on the show.
I know. I'm so blessed.
And we were so excited. I mean, it was so much fun. We got to hear your story from the beginning and your very humble beginnings and just what you've done as a businesswoman. If you want to give the short version, otherwise you can go watch the first episode.
Yes.
But then I want to catch everyone up to what you're doing today.
Yeah, so I am a realtor. As we know, that's what I do to make money. And I've been on the same team for right at 20 years, Bill Lanier at Keller Williams. And so that has been a blessing in itself, just the start of my real estate career and all the amazing people that have poured into me and believed in me. And through that, I've met incredible people. However, as I was selling real estate, I realized because of our economy, as all of you know, people come in, people go out. Well, I had a lot of couples coming in, and these women wanted to know, where do I get my hair done? Where do I go to get my nails done? Where do you take your kids? All these things.
Right.
And so being from Midland, and I had a great group of core women already, I decided I would start the Fabulous Women of Midland.
Love
and
it.
I think that was in 2016. I may be wrong on the dates, but anyway, so I started having these meet and greets at my house once a month.
And this was before it had a name, before?
Well, I actually did
Did you
start
already
it.
have Fabulous?
Yeah,
okay,
I did.
it's already,
Yeah.
I thought it was like wine night or
Well, it was just the Fabulous Women of Midland, but I would just call it Wine Night. Yes.
Gotcha.
And so I had my friends come, and then I had new clients come just so they could meet other women.
Yeah.
And that is strictly what it was for, just
Right.
women to meet other women. Now, in that, some networking did happen, and I actually got business out of it, which was great. I'm not a cold call kind of girl. I'm very personal. So,
Well, relationships are your key.
Yes.
I mean, you are so good at relationships. You're so intentional.
And that's why it was so important to me. And I wanted that for them. I wanted them to find good relationships while they were here.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I did it for, 4 or 5 years. Moved off to Granbury. Then I needed to meet women, so I started Fabulous Women of Granbury.
Love it.
During COVID, 2020, and a lot of these couples are retired in Granbury.
Yeah.
I got there early, I thought. I'd messed up the invitation time, and I was not early, and there was like 60 women, and I knew 5.
Wow.
So that told me there was a need. These women want to be around other women. And so with that many women come in, and the growth that happens so quickly there, that's where the give back comes in.
Right.
So now each month, instead of it just being women to get together, it is still that.
Right.
You just have to be a woman.
Right.
Come make friends or network if you want to. Of course, I want to support you versus Amazon. So
Right,
that's how
right.
those relationships form. And so now we have sponsors each month that either pay for the food or the wine or offer their location as the location, because now it's just too big to have in a kitchen.
Right.
And we have local businesses like Rig ID that donate, and other businesses that will donate, and we sell those items each month as raffle items, and all that money goes to the nonprofit selected for that month.
I love it.
Yes,
Love it.
It's incredible, and it's been a great vehicle for women to come. Some women just, like I met with some women in Monahans the other day, and the way I described it is some women use it to network, some women use it to just get out of the house, and others are simply a mom is at home all day with her screaming children, and she loves them. We love our children.
Yes.
But some nights we just need a glass of wine with grown-ups.
Right.
And so it has become
have talks
that.
about,
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry about your boo-boo, or,
Yes.
right, whatever,
Yes.
wherever the mom conversation takes. It really, truly is a way for them to connect with other women.
Yes.
I love it.
And the growth has just happened. Like you said, we have over 8,000 women now in the Facebook pages. There's no membership fees. The only requirement is to be a woman.
Say that again. No membership fees.
No membership
It
fees.
is free. And so many times in life you go, nothing in life's free, right? How many times have we
Right.
heard that? This is really free.
It is.
There is no charge. There is no membership fee. All you have to do is go on to Facebook and like the page, and you get to, you'll be invited.
Yes.
And that's it.
Well,
Everybody's invited.
And the reason I do that is because of my, like you said, humble beginnings, because I have been blessed in life with so many nonprofits that have helped me throughout the years. Now it's my turn. And so I would rather the women come, and it's not a requirement. You don't have to buy raffle tickets, but I would rather see you spend 20, 30, 40 bucks, whatever that is, on raffle tickets, go home with an item that you're excited about, or be excited that your friend won, and then that money all goes to the nonprofit.
Yes.
So I would rather money be spent that way than money to get in the door.
I love it. What stories have you heard from women that have connected with someone and how it truly made a difference in their life?
There is a bunch. We have a lady from Monahans, for instance. Her name is Laura, and I'm not going to even say her company name, but it's Coco's Manjadas. I'm not sure, but it's this fabulous ice cream.
Okay.
And she came to one of our Odessa meetings, and she came up to me. She's like, Shonna, I want to start a group of Monahans. And her and Ashley did, and they are rocking it. But through that, she has been connected with so many other companies within the groups that she's, I don't know, more than quadrupled her business since she's been in the group.
You're kidding.
And now she'll sponsor, she's going to be a sponsor tonight.
I love that. So she's now sponsoring some of the other events, because tonight is Fabulous Women of Midland event. So she's really, really utilizing the connections that she's making to grow her business.
Yes.
I love that. And I think that's just one of many stories. Then of course there's the stories of friendships where, there's someone that they're very, they maybe don't go out very often. This is kind of out of their comfort zone, right? And so let's speak to that, because I have seen you grow so much through the years and really get out of your comfort zone. If you would have asked her to speak in front of a group of people 10 years ago, or even, or 20 years ago, she would have said, you're crazy. There's no way.
Even 5 years ago,
5 years ago. I am not doing that. There is no way I'm getting behind a microphone, let alone up on stage in front of, hundreds of women. And now you do it so effortlessly. How did you grow out of that, discomfort, I should say?
I would say it's still not effortlessly, and there is still a lot of nerves, and people don't see that, which I'm grateful for. But it's not about me. I do it for the group. I do it for that cause for that month. Debbie Frapp, who's a great mentor of mine, taught me years ago that you can't grow inside your comfort zone. And I've been uncomfortable for a lot of years now. And I keep growing. But
you're like, come on, God, I know you're going to get me comfortable at some point.
But you know what? I really don't want to be comfortable anymore.
Yeah,
I love being uncomfortable, because that means that I'm growing, and maybe I'm helping somebody else.
Yeah, for sure. And Debbie is so amazing. We've actually invited her. She's going to be on the show at some point. We're getting Debbie next time she's in Midland, because she is just so amazing at and it really just like the team spirit with companies, and really helping your team be more of a team and then grow personally like she's done for you. What advice would you give to someone that is scared to death to get behind a microphone, or maybe start something new like you've started?
So the one thing I learned, and I had a boss again, I've just had incredible people pour into me, was Marion Daly, and he's no longer with us, but he put me through Dale Carnegie. And the one thing, I took a couple things, but one of the biggest thing I took from Dale Carnegie was, if people are coming to listen to you, it's because they want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, I love that.
And so you still get nervous, you still get scared. I mean, my hands are sweating right now because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think that's it. We just don't want to say the wrong thing.
Right.
But as long as you're speaking on something that you believe in, and you have confidence, the message is going to get out.
Yes. Amen. And be yourself.
Yes.
To me, there is nothing worse than getting up there thinking you have to be something else or somebody else. Like in broadcasting, I thought, I have to be like Barbara Walters. No, I don't. I don't have to be like Barbara Walters. I need to be like Krista, right? You have to do that and, think, I don't need to be what they think I should be. I need to be me, because I'm who they need to hear today.
Well, and I think, too, for me speaking, I don't want to speak at anybody.
Right.
I want to speak with, because I want to be approachable.
Right.
And I feel like if I was speaking at somebody, and we've all experienced that.
Yes.
Or maybe somebody's not as authentic, or maybe it's their fear causing them not to be authentic.
Right.
But it ends up being a speak at instead of come speak with me.
Right. I love that. And I think it's important for it to be a conversation, not a speech.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But you're doing such a good job of it. You
Thank
really
you.
are.
Thank
And
you.
so
Thank
I
you.
just want to applaud you for
Thank
it
you.
because I know it's hard because it is the number one fear. I hear it all the time. Whenever I get asked to speak somewhere, they usually say, "Can you speak on public speaking?"
Yes.
because
And she's great at it.
Thank you. Well, but it wasn't natural for me
Yes.
either. And so I want everyone to feel comfortable behind it. It took many years of being uncomfortable, and still there are times when I'm uncomfortable. There's a group sometimes you get up in front of, and all of a
Yes.
sudden the hands start sweating, your heart starts palpitating. But then if you breathe
Yes.
and just be yourself and remember, I love what you said because it's so important to remember that the audience is for you, not against you. And so they're there to hear something that you have to say. And that's one that took me many years to get, but it's so true. You never sit, okay, think of this. You never sit in an audience, right? You better not anyway. You never sit in an audience and go, God, I hope they fail. Right?
Really? Yes.
You never do.
Yes.
You never sit in an audience thinking
Right.
that when someone gets on stage. So you get in, when you're in an on-stage presentation, remember the audience is in there going, I really hope she's
Yes.
doing good. And when you flip the script to they're with me, they're here, we're hearing this together, boom, magical things happen.
And and as a woman especially, so I walked into Monahans last night, and even though I'm the founder, these other women have taken this group and made it their own.
Yes.
And so I got to go be a guest.
Right.
So I walk in the room, I started feeling insecure.
nerves.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
because
like,
I didn't know the women. I think that's a good thing too. Like if I could encourage anybody, if you're in a group setting and you see somebody walking alone, you know when they're uncomfortable. You can see it. Welcome them in that group. Welcome them in your group.
Yes.
Go and talk to them because it is hard.
Yes, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because I want to ask you about networking coming up in just a few minutes. But first, I want to talk a little bit about real estate, and then we're going to circle back to Fabulous Women. But that's another tease. Before we do that, we're going to do quote of the day because you know I love quotes, right?
I know.
You know.
If I can only be as quotey as you.
As quotey as me. Thank you. You too can be quotey. All you do is buy lots of quote books and read quotes every day. You too can be quotey. Okay, which one did you get? The positive card. I love that because you are
yay.
so positive. I love that. Okay, what does it say?
So it says, do the best you can. No one can do more than that. John Wooden.
Oh, isn't that a good quote?
Yes,
What does
it
that
is.
mean to you?
Well, I love positivity, and as I explain my friend Krista to everybody, I tell everybody, what you see is the real deal. This is who she is all the time, all day long. And
Thank you.
so from that, I love being positive, and I think positive means not being in denial, but the energy you put out is what you're going to attract.
Love it.
Yeah.
Because it's so true. You can wake up each day and go, oh, this is going to be a horrible day. Or you can wake up each day and go, this is going to be a great day, no matter what comes my way. Now,
And you get to reset your days.
You do get to reset. Middle of the day,
Yes.
if something's going, you get a flat tire, you find out you're overdrafted in your bank account, whatever it is.
Yes.
It's okay. You can reset it and you can go, okay, let me just flip the script in my mind. And you say that I'm like this all the time. I have moments, right?
Oh, she is.
I
for
do
sure.
have
Yes.
moments for sure that I'm like, but what I've learned through the years is to take those moments and go, how can I look at the good side of this? Because I know that there's even, when I tore my ACL.
I was just about to say, I sat on the couch with her for 12 hours one day, and she was in miserable pain.
I had a lot of pain.
And she might not have been as positivity or quotey.
Right,
whatever,
right.
But she was still seeing the best that she could possibly see.
And now I've looked at it as a huge blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been one of the best experiences.
That's awesome.
And I know that sounds crazy that a surgery could do that, but it's the way you look at it. And when you start looking at the positive things, no matter what it is, it's not that you're trying to see sunshine and rainbows and butterflies and unicorns, which I do. I try to see that every day, but it's that you can make the situation. You decide in your mind that you can flip the script. And
I
so
mean, it's just
I
like
love
kind
that.
of rainy. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's raining and it's cloudy and it's gloomy and we can't go outside. But guess what? We get to stay in PJs and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, you can change
exactly,
it,
Exactly. We can put a cup of coffee on and we can read a
Yes.
book. We can watch Netflix. We can,
Yes.
do the things that we normally wouldn't do because because, it's, it is pouring down. I love that. See, you always just have to look at it. So what's your favorite quote?
For positivity, I guess I would say it's one that I post everywhere, is just be better today than yesterday.
I love that. Yeah.
And that can be anything. That can be as a parent, as a realtor, as a friend, as not a friend. I can be better to somebody maybe that we're not friends than I was yesterday.
Right. And I think that is true because in life, there's going to be days, right, where you go, that really wasn't the best me, right?
Yeah.
Like I really could have reacted to that situation a little bit better.
And be better to yourself.
Yes.
Than you were yesterday.
Yes.
And it comes along with what you're saying.
Exactly.
Can't undo yesterday.
Nope. It's gone.
Yep.
But I can be better today.
Yep.
So I love
Yes.
that one.
Yep.
Good quote. Good quote. Okay, we're going to talk real estate.
Okay.
I know a lot of you are looking at the market right now and going, what is going on in the real estate market? Interest rates are higher, right? But there's still, it's still a good market to buy a house and sell a house, right?
It is. And I think with the thing to keep in mind is with the Midland market, we are different. I mean, it is a shifting market constantly. Our inventory is still low. People are still buying. The interest rates are what they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
the interest rates actually, and Al just walked in, so maybe he'll know. When we bought our house in 1999, was what?
99, they were probably 7 or 8.
yeah,
7 or
they're
8%.
where they're-
That's where they're at now,
Right.
right? But people were buying houses back then. People are buying houses now.
I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't.
Come on,
I don't
you know
even
you do, Shonna,
try to
come on.
pretend like I'm going to have one. I can't imagine that we'll get back down to the 2 and 3% interest rates. That was like free money for way too long, and our economy just can't sustain that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll come down a little bit, but still our market is strong, and we have a constant history of appreciation. So if you're waiting for those interest rates to come down, what you're waiting on, they may stay the same, they may come down a little, but their cost is still appreciating. So you got to kind of look at it in different directions.
Right. So what advice would you give to someone, like if you could share 3 tips, how to sell that house? I've noticed a lot of houses going on the market recently that maybe don't have the upgrades or don't have the brand new, and forgive me, I'm not as well versed in this, like the quartz countertops or, just all the bells and whistles.
Right.
What advice would you give to someone trying to sell their house?
So there's only 3 things we can really control.
Okay.
Price, condition, 3 things that will sell a house. Price, condition, and location. You can't change your location. Your condition, you can, but just look at it price point. Is it worth this cost to do this, or do you just price it accordingly? And those are why you have realtors to help you with that.
Right.
The biggest tips is show ready. If you're going in to buy a house, think about that for your people coming into your house. It needs to be bright, open, decluttered. Your first impression is important.
Yeah.
Pricing is key. Even though we have a great market, there's competition,
Right.
and the market's going to tell you. And if your price is too high, you may get activity, but are you getting offers, or is no one coming through?
Right.
And then just allow your house to be shown.
Do people not want their
Yeah,
house to be shown?
sometimes.
How do you sell your house without the house being
I know
shown,
sometimes
Shonna?
6:00 at night is right in the middle of dinner, but
Let them in.
you gotta weigh. Do I let those people in that might want to buy my house because I want to move, or do I just say no and then they move on to the next one?
I'd be like, come on in.
Yes.
You want some food? Let me go get some pizza. Here, you want some?
So those are things that I think are just,
Yeah.
you got to kind of be a little bit uncomfortable again to
Right.
get what you want.
Right. What is the funniest thing you've ever seen in a house?
No, funniest thing I've ever
Like-
seen in a house.
Where you're just like, that was interesting, or I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I mean, I've had those awkward moments where I made an appointment, but somehow the appointment didn't get made. And you walk in to a house and, you get totally surprised. Or
Yes.
they're totally surprised
Or
by
they're surprised by you.
Yes.
They
And
didn't
so
realize you're coming in, and
I've
even
had
though
some
you
of
have
those
the key.
moments. So I always, I don't care if I have an appointment. I really don't care if the house is vacant. I'm ringing that doorbell and I'm announcing my entrance before I go in.
Good idea. That is a good idea. And a good tip to all you realtors out there, or if you're new into the business. Yeah. That's actually a good question. What advice would you give to a new realtor entering the business?
So I've had that conversation many times. I really encourage somebody to go to an office that you're going to get training and support. We have almost twice as many realtors as we have listings. So you don't want to go somewhere where you're just kind of thrown out to the wolves.
Yeah.
Make sure you're going to get the support, the training, and really, if possible, if you can find a team to where you can be a buyer's agent, I always encourage that first, because
Okay.
your learning curve is going to come down. You're going to learn so much quicker.
Okay.
And you're going to have that support.
So get on a good team.
Yes.
And that's something that I didn't realize going into it, but you can't just like, don't just pass your test and you're like, I'm a realtor. You have to be under a broker, or
Yes, you have to. You have to have a supporting broker, and that could be a big one like Keller Williams. That could be a small independent broker, but you have to have a broker to begin as a realtor.
Okay. All right. Business tool you cannot live without. What is it?
Your phone.
The phone. It's so true.
I mean,
I don't care what
answer your
business.
phone, but answer it, and return calls.
Yeah. Good point.
Yes.
Good point. And I think I might have told the story the first time that you were visiting on the podcast, but I have to tell it again. I've never bought a house from Shonna. If I did, she would be my realtor.
She hasn't bought it from anybody.
But that's because I haven't moved since I've lived here. I mean, we've been in the same house since 1999. So if I was going to move, though, like I'll always look at houses or something, and I'll send Shonna a text. She responds within 2 seconds telling me the price, the comps, what is it good, bad, like what needs to be done in the house, if that's a good price. And so if I ever did, of course, it would be from you. But I just want to say, as a non-customer customer, she's the best.
Oh,
You always respond within 2 seconds. And this was before we were even such good friends. Like you always, the response time was like 2 seconds. So I would say, whatever business you're in, if you can respond to people quickly or pick up the phone, call them back, I think that is key. And I mean, you and I are around the same age. The telephone is the best way just to pick up and call someone, right? Yes. We've gotten away from it a little bit through the years, but I feel like it's coming back. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, and for me, I can text, but I'm the worst texter ever, because I do it so fast, and I just hit send, and then I'm like, So,
but now you can correct it on Apple.
Yes.
Like you can go back in there, which I use all the time. So I'm like, that was not the word I meant to say.
Well, and I don't promote this, but as realtors, a lot of times we're in our car, so texting and driving. So I do a lot of voice text.
Yes, you do all the time.
And I just think that also makes it a little bit more personal.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, because some people, they don't want to talk to you. They'd rather a text. Now, of course, I'd rather a phone call, but if they want to text, you can also voice text.
Yeah, you are so good at that. See, I have not utilized the voice text like you have. And
it's just so much easier.
And I'm like, that is easier. I'm like, I'll be like, well, let me just pick up the phone and call you.
Yes, that works too.
But which does work too. But in business, I feel like that response time is so key. And we've all been there. We've all been good at it in times, and we've all been bad at it in times. But the most effective way for your business, I find, is when you are on it and you're like, okay, they're coming to you with a need, and you can help them. So let's help them. Yes. All right, question of the day. Ready? Okay. Here we go. I'm sitting here today in Midland, Texas with one of my best friends, Shonna Garcia. We're having a fun conversation about the polite card. You got the polite card. We're not having a fun conversation about polite cards. We are having a fun conversation about real estate and networking and the fabulous women of every town. There's going to be one every day.
That would be awesome.
Every town someday. I know it. The dream big. It's going to be everywhere. But what did your polite card say?
All right. It says, you will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. Maya Angelou. Oh, love that.
You got another quote.
Oh,
that's okay. I love that quote. That is an amazing quote. But how did it enter the wrong bowl? I love that because that is so true. Never let yourself be defeated. I mean, that goes back to never giving up. And what does that mean to you?
A lot. I feel like a lot. Actually, my life. That's a lot of my life. And I made a decision early in life. I didn't want to be a victim. And my kid is a great example of that for me.
He is.
But I don't, it's hard to give yourself credit sometimes, but I know that's how I kind of live too. Like if I set my mind to something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love that. I love that card. Okay, now pick another one.
Okay. The test. Okay, proud.
The proud card. Aww.
Okay. What is your strongest personal trait?
Ooh, good question.
I guess my strongest personal trait, and hopefully this is a trait, is I do try to be genuine.
Yeah, for sure. No, I 100% would agree with that. You're always your authentic self. You are never trying to be somebody you're not.
Good.
And I love that. No, for sure. Genuine always. I never walk away going, yeah, that wasn't genuine. I wouldn't. And I've never, that is one that, even from the first day I met you, and when you called me and said, "Hey, do you want to go to lunch?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that sounds great." And I was just like, we didn't, we'd known each other or seen each other in passing, but didn't really know each other. And I just thought, she is a genuine person that I want to get to know more, because I think that's important. You don't want someone that's putting on airs. You don't want, you want to sit and have a conversation with someone that you enjoy being around with.
That was a great lunch, and I remember we were at Smiling Moose.
Yes, Smiling Moose. I miss Smiling Moose.
And the huge thing about that moment and that takeaway was, I know how tired you were, because that's back when she did the news.
I was doing the morning show.
She was up like at 2 a.m. I don't even know, but she still made time for me. So that was an awesome day.
Well, I was so grateful that you picked up the phone, called, and asked if I wanted to go to lunch. So awesome. I'm like, let's do it. So I'm so glad you did.
Me too.
I'm so grateful, because I appreciate our friendship so much, and that's a good. I think that's a good segue into friendships, because you and I both have a friend that wrote a book about friendships, Amy Weatherly, and she talks about friendships a lot. She's just incredible. And it's hard when you become an adult to have friendships. Why is that? Because I think what you're doing with Fabulous Women is so supportive of the friendship. So I love that. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think too, as we become adults, different circles of your life.
Yes.
So I have friends that I've been friends with since I was 8 years old. She is still one of my most genuine friends, and I know I could pick up the phone and call her, and she would be there. But we've had children at different stages. She had all girls. I had a boy. So we just went through different stages in life to where our lives didn't always connect.
Gotcha.
Whereas me and you, for instance, same thing. You have different children at different ages.
Right.
But we had such a common goal, I think, with networking and gathering women and what we wanted from that.
Right. And supporting people.
Yeah. And then, our kids went to school together, and then our kids had similar interests. And so we were able to glue our friendship together.
Right.
Then I have other friends who maybe we really don't have a lot of interest at all, but we just have so much love for each other.
Right.
But
like you either had a shared experience and so you either had your kids were in the same sports at the same time, and so you connected at that moment, right?
But I think now, because we're so busy with work and life, that those friendships, when we were younger, they could come and go more, and now it's just like that time is so much more valuable that we want it to be real.
Right. And the intentionality of it, like you really have to be intentional with it, and it's like, there's nothing better than when you do connect with someone and you're like, hey, let's get together. Don't be scared to ask. That's where I was getting at. Don't be scared to ask the question. Hey, do you want to go to lunch? Hey, do you want to meet? Because that's how it starts. The other person may have not been asked to lunch for years. I mean, and was craving that friendship as much as you were. So I think that is just so beautiful and such a good segue back into Fabulous Women, because I want everybody right now, like if you had to tell somebody that's thinking of coming to one of, because liking the Facebook page and then actually coming to an event are two different things, right? Because you have 8,000 women which is amazing number. I mean, I cannot tell you as a woman, as a businesswoman, as a mom, as a friend, how much that number makes me happy, because it means that many women are craving what we're all craving, which is connection.
Yes.
And so what would you say to someone that is like, I've liked your page, I haven't gone yet, but I'd really like to go. What would you say to encourage them to go?
Just come. It doesn't mean that you have to come every month, but I see that we do have good staples that come to every, like the Granbury staple, Midland staple. I mean, they come every single time. But we have new women come every month. And when you walk in with maybe that fear of walking into this room of women and not knowing anybody, you're going to walk out knowing somebody.
Yes.
You will. Because women understand, and yes, they may be cliquish. We may have certain women that we sit at the table with, but they invite you in.
Right.
And I've seen great friendships form from this. I've seen great business relationships form from this. Some women, it's been therapeutic for them.
Absolutely.
They don't know anybody. They haven't done anything in 2 years, and all of a sudden now they have a circle of women that maybe they can form a book club with, maybe they can have play dates with, maybe they just have lunch dates with.
Love that.
Because I do want these women to form relationships outside of the group.
Right.
Like, I want those things to grow and flourish, and those be the rewards of the group.
Right. And that's what's going to be fun to watch for years to come is the friendships that are made through this group, you know, say 10, 20 years down the line when you go, oh yeah, we met at Fabulous Women of Midland or Fabulous Women of Monahans, or, you know.
Well, and I think women too have a natural tendency to want to help. So the give back, we're learning about all these nonprofits that you might not otherwise hear about, you know,
Right.
because they're smaller. Some of them are much smaller, and so you don't get the public notices, and so you leave, oh wow, and then you get to go volunteer for a small one that maybe you wouldn't have known about. So the rewards are different. It's such a different
Right.
reward system.
And that's a great segue into what is your favorite nonprofit? If you could shout one out today, because I know they're all amazing, but if you could shout one out today that has not been maybe, you know, talked about, or it's near to dear to your heart, which one would you like to shine a little light and brag
Oh,
on?
it's so hard. You know, I love any of them that have to deal with rehabilitation for families. And it, you know, single women just is the core of those and those children. Because I never want a child to think that they are determined by their circumstances or their situations. I want them to see the bigger picture. So those organizations are near and dear to my heart because children sometimes can get stuck, and I love those organizations that give them that avenue to get unstuck.
I love that. I love that. And there are so many. We have so many here in West Texas. And I mean, I know, is it Archway?
Archway Outreach is mental support, so it's
Okay, mental
it is a supplemental to healthcare
Okay.
or mental care.
Gotcha.
So they supplement the cost.
That's-
It's all tied together. I mean,
Right.
it can all.
We also have High Sky Children's Ranch. I mean, the list goes on. In a different way, we have Midland Children's Rehab Center, you know, helping kids out that they don't pay a thing to go there, which I love that they can receive.
We've learned about foster care children who, at the age of 18, they age out of foster care. Where do they go?
Yeah.
So there's organizations that help them transition
that.
from foster care into adulting.
Yeah.
So, and you don't hear about those.
Right. Well, that's fantastic. And I think it's just one of the wonderful, you know, there's so many wonderful benefits to the group. And that is just another one that you go, oh, this is awesome. You
Yes.
know, every month you can hear about a different one and help give back, because that's the other hard thing. And that's why we love to shout out here on the show. It's hard to give back to all these organizations or to sit on all the boards, right? There's just not enough hours in the day.
Or to be able to give a big enough donation that you feel like you've made a difference.
Yes.
And that's why I love this group too. Another saying I love to say is we're better together. So maybe you can only spend $20 on raffle tickets, but we give $2,000 that night.
Right.
So you were part of a $2,000 donation to
Yeah.
that organization. So you did make a big difference.
Yep. Okay. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Time for favorite things.
Okay.
I shout out favorite something and you tell me what it is. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Let's start with favorite song.
Ooh. You Say by Lauren Daigle.
Oh, isn't that a good one?
I love that one.
You just put on your story the other day. I love that song. Oh, it's so good. So good. Okay. Favorite movie.
Right now, I would have to say, I've always loved Pollyanna.
Pollyanna. Oh, that's so sweet.
But I love The
that.
Notebook and Pretty Woman,
Yeah,
too.
can't
Like,
go
they're
wrong.
all three different areas.
Love Pretty Women and The Notebook.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't go wrong. Okay. Love a good rom-com.
Yeah.
Favorite restaurant.
Favorite restaurant? Just a shout out. I'll do Mulberry Cafe.
Okay. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Favorite coffee shop.
Favorite coffee shop. I'll just say my favorite coffee is a latte with almond milk and vanilla.
Perfect.
I'll take it from anywhere.
Good, because I was going to ask you next your favorite drink. Favorite drink.
Coffee, that is coffee, yes. And water. Water is always good.
Favorite spark flavor.
Fruit punch.
Fruit punch. Yes, it's the best. It
is,
really
it
is.
is.
And
Yeah.
all of our fellow Spark drinkers out there know, and so Spark is by Avocare. They do not pay us to say this, but if you want to, go ahead and give us a call. But Spark is amazing.
Yes.
It really gets your day going. It has all the vitamins. Huge vitamin fan right here. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite. I got this one. Favorite entertainment venue in West Texas.
Entertainment venue. Ooh, you know, I don't know that it's my favorite, but one that I just did was Live Oak.
Okay.
The venue at Live Oak. Yes. It's so
Yes.
cool.
I haven't been
Like
yet.
It is so nice. They have a great stage. They have a great, it's new.
Oh,
So that's the
fantastic.
thing. And it's got artificial turf. It has a VIP area. It's
Nice.
beautiful for weddings. So yeah, that's a great one.
Okay, awesome. I'm so glad because nobody's shouted that out yet. So, favorite memory in Midland?
Ooh, favorite memory in Midland. From whenever?
And whenever. We just like to brag on West Texas here, so give me your
Gosh.
favorite memory here.
I don't know. I have so many. Spent my whole life here. I don't know.
No?
Give me an example of yours.
Well, I mean, first I would say the day I met my husband.
Well, that's so nice.
Was a pretty amazing
Yes.
memory. I would say when our kids were born,
Yeah.
always, I mean, that is always a favorite memory. And really, here's another one. Christmas time.
Yeah.
Driving around Grassland looking at the Christmas lights, going by the Thames house, which is no longer here, but getting everybody in pajamas, hot cocoa,
Yes.
driving around. You know, there's so many.
Okay,
Fourth
well,
of
yes.
July,
Okay.
watching the fireworks. You know, Green Tree does an amazing celebration. Also downtown does one too. So there's a lot.
Yeah,
I've got,
that's true. That's
I could
true.
go on.
Yeah,
and on.
I
I got
could too.
so many favorites.
Okay, so of course, have my child, of course.
Shout out Connor.
Dennis the Menace. I mean, that's always had great.
Dennis the Menace Park, yeah.
Many years there.
Yes.
You know, there was Girl Scouts. There's
Yeah.
When you grow up in Midland, it just kind of becomes just who you are.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about Midland?
I do love the people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's always going to be home. No matter where life takes me, Midland will be home. And
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about Midland. It is busy. It's growing, and you hear the negatives about all the stuff, but it is always
I don't.
home.
I just tune them out.
It's
La,
always
la, la,
it's
la,
always
la,
home.
la.
It's always home, and the people are amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yes.
I mean, I could go on and on. The sunsets, the sunrises.
Oh, yes.
I mean, beautiful.
Yes.
And it's all how you look at it.
Yes.
You know, not to quote, but I'm going to quote. The grass is greener where you water it. It's not green
true.
on the other
Yes.
side. It's green where you water
Yes.
it. Which, thank you, God, for the rain recently to water our grass. But I mean, really, you look at it, and it's how you look at it. So
My grandmother was a very, very positive person as
Was
well.
she?
And she was an artist.
Oh.
And so a lot of the art in my house is from her, and she would paint, and it might be the cactus or the tumbleweeds or the ranch with the dirt. And in her I remember her saying, art is always how you look at it.
Yes.
And so for her, that cactus or that tumbleweed is beautiful when she painted it.
I love
You know,
that.
yeah.
I think that is so key. Do you have a favorite life hack? A life hack that makes your life a little easier. Could be anything.
No, I
Like,
don't know.
you know, it could be dry shampoo. It could be it could be the fast way to make dinner or whatever, just any kind of life
I have
hack.
friends that will make fun of this, and so if you know, you know. But the crock pot,
There you go. It's a great life hack.
It is.
You're the second crock pot lover this week. I love that.
Yeah.
No, I love that. So what's your favorite thing to put in it?
Oh, and they're gonna love this one too. Chicken.
Okay.
It's
So
the
you just throw
easiest
the
thing.
chicken in?
Yeah,
Do you-
easy.
so
Seasoning and
I was going to say, what's your, like Al loves to put Rotel tomatoes in and
yeah, you can even put it in there frozen, and you can season it up, and it's one of Connor's favorite meals.
nice.
Yeah.
I love it. See, there you go. Life hack.
Yeah.
I love it. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Get the crock pot. What do you want your legend or your, you know, when people look back at you years from now, what do you want them to remember about you?
I think, you know, especially when you have children, you know, I think that is an important question.
Yeah,
I
legacy
would
is
hope
important.
that people remember me, and that's another thing Marion Daly taught me. We're leaving our legacies today. Like we're living our legacy today.
Yes. I love that. Yeah.
You know, of course, the normal stuff. I want them to think that I worked hard and accomplished all these things, but I want them to see how big I love and how much I love and how much I want to see other people succeed and promote other people and believe in other people and just be genuine about it.
Yeah. Well, you're doing that now.
Yeah,
You're
that's
living
what
your
I like.
legacy.
Thank you.
You are.
Yeah.
You're doing a beautiful job of it. And I just wish you, as a friend, as a fellow businesswoman, as a mom, I wish you continued, you know, peace, love, happiness, success in all that you want to achieve, because I believe I'm over here rooting for you and I'm
Yeah.
cheering you on,
You
and I
are.
know that you can do whatever it is you want to do with your businesses, because both of these businesses are truly amazing. One of them, I know it's not, you don't think of it as business, it's more networking, but it is truly a phenomenal program or business
Yes.
or whatever you want to call it that you've put together. And I just think that it truly could be in every town, because look at the impact it's making with these 8,000 women.
Some people called it a movement.
A movement.
And I love
like
that.
movement. Yeah,
I
because I'm
love
like, what do you
that.
call it? It's not a business.
Yes.
It's not a program. It's like,
Yeah.
a movement. I love that, because this movement truly is connecting women on a level that is needed. And there are other great networking organizations.
Yes.
Don't get, don't get me wrong. There are so many amazing networking organizations, but I love the heart behind yours and the giving, and the fact that it has grown so organically over the past, few years, that I love watching it grow. And I just wish you all the
too.
best always,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
always and forever.
Oh.
And so I just love you, think the world of you, and I know that this is going to be something years from now we're going to be like, wow, remember when it was only 5 towns or 3 towns, or, and now we're like, wow, this is amazing, the women coming together. So
And I love you and thank you for all your support.
you're welcome. So keep doing the good work.
Yes,
Keep
yes.
doing it. I want all of you to know that you can join right now. All you have to do is go on Facebook and click Fabulous Women. It truly is just one of those things where we're just trying to get more women, support more women. If you know me, you know I want your dreams to come true, just like I want Shonna's dreams to come true. And every single woman that's in this organization, I want them to be happy and find their personal legend and find their dream big, believe, never give up. And we can do it together.
Real quick, if it's okay.
Yeah.
October 26th, I think, it's a Thursday.
We can look it up.
6:30 to 8:30. It will be at Miss Casey's.
I don't know
So
where-
come join.
Not sure where my
that
phone went, but we
Wonderland.
can look it up.
We'll have our event there that night.
Okay.
And we're gonna do we do an annual hoodie drive.
Uh-huh.
I don't do coats because kids don't wear coats.
Okay.
I mean,
But
I
they-
raised teenagers, but they will wear
they
hoodies,
will wear a
and the
hoodie.
little kids wear hoodies. And that's the other thing with that. I want kids to feel like they fit in.
Yes.
So I want them to wear a hoodie so that they fit in with the other kids, even if they can't afford that hoodie.
I love that.
And so that'll be our annual hoodie drive, and we are going to be having a nonprofit that night as well. But you can come join in and shop at Miss Casey's, and 6:30 to 8:30.
Which, as you all know, they are amazing businesswomen and mentors of both
Yes,
of ours,
yes.
and love them to pieces. And so you can actually meet them there that night too.
yes.
And it's going to be a fantastic evening of just fellowship and
Yes.
and really just supporting each other. And that's what I'm looking forward to. That's going to be a fun one. So go right now, like on Facebook, and then you will get an invitation.
Or
and
just request to
all the
join.
things, or
And
request to
it'll get
join.
approved. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Shonna.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed our time. Is there anything you want to say in closing that we haven't covered that you're like, oh man, I hope I say this, and I really hope that we get to talk about? I always
No,
like to ask that.
just come to the groups, and of course, I would love to be your realtor. I mean, of course.
Hey, you got to do the ask. You
yes,
have to do the
and,
ask.
You can find me out there, Shonna Garcia on Facebook, or I'm with the Bill Lanier team, and plug me in on Google or whatever. I'll pop up.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, but bigger than that, if I can help you with any of your real estate needs, even if it's just a question, always feel free to call me. And then, of course, we want you to come join our women group.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you, Shonna.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time today listening. I hope that you have learned something a little bit more about the fabulous women or real estate, or something that maybe just made you smile and laugh like it did us, because we had fun, and I hope that you did too. And we want to thank our sponsors. We could not have our show without you, and so we're so grateful. Thank you to Kevin Foreman Financial, also to Tapestry Hotel Midland, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, ThinFR, and JoinCapClub.com. Remember, #support local wherever you can.
Yes.
And don't forget, #dream big, believe and never give up. I truly believe this. I mean, I feel like both you and I are living proof, really, of that. I know that I feel like I'm living a life that is better, bigger and better, and more than I ever dreamed of. And I'm so grateful for our family, for our business, and for our local support from the community, because we really couldn't be living this dream without all supporting each other. So I hope that for you. I hope that for you. And I hope that you will pass this on to somebody that needs to hear that message today. Thank you so much for joining us. You make it a great day, and we'll see you soon on the Krista Escamilla Show. Bye-bye.